You see, I've been asked what is my stand from the context of morality and immorality in matters of sex and drugs, the popular vices. I am not the right guy to make opinion about what is moral and what is immoral. For me, there is something called dharma, and dharma for me has nothing to do with scriptures, but to do with that act of yours which liberates you, which makes you feel like you're expanding with the expansion of the universe. That's dharma. If you do anything that is in consent and is a moment filled with pleasure and has no potential to harm you or your partner or your friends or anybody in society, how can that be placed within the boundaries of morality and immorality? But what I could tell you is that, you see, the reason I'm talking about things in a certain tonality when it comes to, cosmetics, sex, drugs, obsessive cleanliness, like for my, it's dirty for my family to be walking barefooted on the ground. So I have problems with these things because it turns out, wait, let me show you our cooking place, okay? The farm we are readying for each one of you. Let us show you the cooking place. Of course, we are going to be creating another kitchen when we start inviting you to the place. But oh, did you see that? I want to tell you, you have to be very careful with the coconut trees when it's windy, like the way it is now. This is how we cook. And those are the dog bartans. Here are the dogs. Can you see them? Hey, you too. It's because it's going to rain nearly all day now. We've put everything right here, including the dogs. Now the food is going to be cooked right there, and dogs are going to live right there. I mean, this is the place for dogs when it rains. And this is also the storeroom, and this is also the kitchen, the open kitchen. It's large, an old structure, and we cook right here. It would be impossible for my family to imagine eating food cooked here. And it turns out, with all the cleanliness, in spite of all the cleanliness, in spite of, the netted doors and shut windows, there's still illness in the family, I mean, this is an example. This is true for most of your families, right? Diabetes, blood pressure, obesity, heart-related ailments or stomach-related ailments, trouble with the back, trouble with the knees, you name it. What is all this cleanliness? How is all this cleanliness helping them? Washing hands many times before you eat your meal with Dettol, with soap. How is all this cleanliness helping us? How do we not see mindless consumerism in all of this? How do we not learn from animals? How do we not see that soil is not hurting animals? What is hurting animals is the plastic. This is a whole topic in itself, about India. Such a country where rivers are treated as mothers. And look at the condition of the rivers. And go to the countries where rivers are treated as rivers, and look at the condition of those rivers. You understand what I'm saying? No one really cares that the cows are grazing on the streets and, consuming plastic. And cows are also treated here as mothers. I mean, this is a country of appeasement, very simply put. I mean, when we started addressing the most important life-giving factors in our geography, and cow and rivers are both included in that, no, without a doubt. They must be revered, they must be respected. So the original intrinsic reason for mother level admiration for all of this was appropriate. It meant well, and then came the Andhbhakts who distorted all of this in the name and for the, just a tip, whenever you're moving in under coconut trees, just look at this. When it's windy like this, I shouldn't ideally be moving under these trees, but I'm careful, I am present. I'm used to the nature of this environment, but if you happen to be here or anywhere under the trees when it's windy, just be very, very careful. I am hoping you guys do end up living under the trees, because that's what my desire for all of you is. That's what I'm setting this place in a certain way, to encourage you to get closer to nature. Where was I? Yeah, so the mother. A country where rivers and animals can be treated as mothers must have meant something really, really right. But then we start becoming a country of Andhbhakts, and that spoils everything for us. Because there are only two reasons then all of this starts becoming important for. One, let's do it. Let's call these objects as mothers and also pray to them for our benefit. So join our hands together. And I also want to tell you something that I've observed about closing both our palms together, joining our palms. What really goes by when we do that? Well, we'll get to that later, perhaps in this video. I'm just speaking boundlessly. Maybe we'll touch upon that in this video itself. So with folded hands, we go to these beings, and our intrinsic motivation and intention is really our benefit. So we're just really doing it for all the selfish reasons and superficial. Selfishness is not so bad, but such superficial reason, and that is why we really don't care about our rivers, our animals. We are now only doing or talking about these things for a political motive. And many, many out there still have a lot of reverence for the river Ganga. Very truly, they do consider it divine. And I mean, it comes from, Gaumukh, the Bhagirathi river, comes together with Alaknanda river, and they become the river Ganga in Dev Prayag. Of course, there is going to be divinity in the water of this river. It comes from Gaumukh. It's got qualities of Bhagirathi and Alaknanda river. You go to Gangotri, Khayara Bugyal, you know the divinity I'm talking about. Drink milk from the cows of these places, and you know that you are having the best milk in the world. There is divinity in all of this, but when we just make that divinity a facade, symbolism, almost ritualistic, and if we truly were such beings, we would have really had some reverence and respect for life of human beings, life of animals, because you can't be somebody who calls a cow a mother intrinsically and not have that same level of admiration and regard for animal lives. I hope you'd go to my COVID in India related playlist on YouTube, on my channel Preseed Admin, which my team handles. They have placed a video which I shot for a minute just watching a dog eat a donkey's poop because the dog was hungry and we had a lockdown. Do we not care about dogs any more than just putting Instagram photos, and of course any more than taking care of dogs that are at our homes, and we don't care about the dogs that are outside? Do we really care? No, we don't. A civilization where cows are intrinsically treated as mothers would just really have that quality in them to treat other animals alike. This divide between animals, wow, what I'm really talking about that, just this division we keep creating, and whatever suits our interest becomes God for us. You see the hypocrisy. So we land up in situations where all kinds of religious garbage, influenced by the words of Manusmriti, Puja Path, Karm Kand, the gathering of pollution in festivals right in the river. And this is what happens when you treat something that's a river as a mother. I mean, please let a river be a river. Know what a river does and treat it so. It's not a place of worship. Now we have dead bodies in our river. I can't imagine this for educated countries. They would treat their rivers like rivers and would treat them well because they are rivers. They don't have to additionally call it mother for it to be treated well. In fact, the moment they do this appeasement and symbolic bullshit, they start destroying the reality. I hope I don't miss the other points that I wanted to state. One of which was joining hands together. Maybe I'll just say it in the other video. I'll make another video just for that. I'll do it now.